Welcome to Amrita Civil Service Academy. We are starting a new series, especially for Prelims 2020, that is Current Affairs linked to mock work. This is the first part of Current Affairs linked to mock work for Prelims 2020. The first one about Jammu and Kashmir, Ladakh. Government of India bifurcated the state into two union territories, that is Ladakh and Jammu and Kashmir. Ladakh region consists of two districts. The first one, Leh, and second one, Kargil. The most interesting fact is that Kargil is included in the Ladakh region. Next, rest includes all other districts in Jammu and Kashmir. Now, Jammu and Kashmir bordering only one country, that is Pakistan. Ladakh bordering Pakistan, Afghanistan, and China. This is a S12 map of Jammu and Kashmir regions. Like different regions are marked like Jammu region, Kashmir region, and Ladakh region. This is a border demarcation. That is the green area shows Pak occupied Kashmir, POK, and the boundary between Pak occupied Kashmir and Jammu and Kashmir area is the line of control. However, in the eastern side, red marked area, it is with China now. That red marked area is known as Aksai Chin. Border between Aksai Chin and Jammu and Kashmir region, now Ladakh region, is known as line of actual control. And in the northern part, you can see a green and red hashed area, that is a territory ceded by Pakistan to China in 1963. Next one, Delhi Mumbai Industrial Corridor. That was in news recently, that is Western Dedicated Freight Corridor. It starts from Jawaharlal Nehru Port in Mumbai to Dadri in UP. It passes through Maharashtra, Gujarat, Rajasthan, Haryana, and UP. So you need to have a look at the places, major places connecting these Western Dedicated Freight Corridor. You can have a look into another industrial corridors as well, that is Western Dedicated Freight Corridor. Then Mumbai, Bangalore Industrial Corridor, that is mainly economic corridor. Mumbai, Bangalore Economic Corridor, that is a brown marked one. Then the blue marked one, Bengaluru Chennai Industrial Corridor. Then another one, green marked, from Amritsar to Kolkata, that is Eastern Dedicated Freight Corridor. Then the second phase of East Coast Economic Corridor is Vishakhapatnam to Kolkata. The most important are Western and Eastern Dedicated Freight Corridor. You need to see the areas where these corridors passes, like Jawaharlal Nehru Port, Surat, Vadodara, Mehsana, Marwar, Ajmer, Dadri, Rewari in the western part, and in the eastern, Ludhiana, Ambala, Kanpur, Allahabad, then to Danguni in West Bengal. Ludhiana in Punjab. You need to see the states as well. That is West Bengal, Jharkhand, Bihar, UP. Next is Kalapani territory. Kalapani territory was recently in news as Government of India published a new political map that shown the creation of two union territories in Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh after revoking the special status of Kashmir. And in the latest map, India included Kalapani into the Uttarakhand district. Actually, it is a disputed area between India and Nepal. So you can see Kalapani territory here in this location. That Kalapani is shown at the tip of that Uttarakhand, the northern part of Uttarakhand, northeastern part of Uttarakhand. That is the disputed region. Next one, BHITARKANIKA National Park. This national park was recently in news related to the saltwater crocodile census. BHITARKANIKA census finds an increase of 15 saltwater crocodiles from last year. This national park is located in Odisha region. When we talk about saltwater crocodiles, it is the largest of all living reptiles. It is listed as the least concerned by IUCN. It is found throughout the east coast of India. This is the BHITARKANIKA from distance from BHITARKANIKA to Bhubaneswar. BHITARKANIKA is in the coastal area. Actually, it's two islands, that is Dengamal Island and Vitarkanika Island. Next one is ATAL Tunnel. It's a tunnel that is built under the Rohtang Pass in the eastern Pir Panjal range of Himalayas. That is actually in Leh Manali highway. It's around 8.8 kilometer long tunnel. Next one, Kaleshwaram project. It's a lift irrigation project in the Godavari River. It was recently in news as center provided grants for the construction of this project. Actually, the speciality of this project is that uh, it has a gravity canal of around 1531 kilometers, around 20 lifts and 19 pump houses. Uh, it's a very big project. It is India's largest multi-stage lift irrigation project in Telangana region. Next one, Balimela Reservoir. It is located in Odisha. It was recently in news. Next one, Balimela Reservoir. It is in Odisha. It was recently in news as various political parties demanded, the land rights to tribals located in that reservoir area. Balimela Reservoir is on the river Sileru, which is situated in the Maikangiri district of Odisha state. Next one, Silverline project. It's a high-speed rail project connecting the northernmost district of Kerala, that is Kasaragod, to the southernmost district, Trivandrum. It was recently in news as Ministry of Railways has granted in principle approval for this Silver Line project. It's around 532 kilometers and the traveling hours actually to be cut from 12 to 4 hours. Next one is Green AG project. It is a project in collaboration with Global Environmental Facility and Food and Agricultural Organization. It is mainly for transforming Indian agriculture. Apart from that, conservation of critical biodiversity and forest landscape. They selected 5 landscapes in India for this particular project. The first one, Chambal landscape, then Dhampa landscape, then Simlipal, then Desert National Park, then Corbett Rajaji. First one, Chambal landscape, that is located in Madhya Pradesh. The Chambal Wildlife Sanctuary, famous for KRL. Second one, Thamba landscape. It is in Mizoram. That is the house of tigers there. That is Thamba Tiger Reserve is located there. Third one, Simlipal. We are familiar with Simlipal Biosphere Reserve. Actually, it's in Odisha. Then Desert National Park, that is Rajasthan. Then Corbett Rajaji, that is both are in Uttarakhand. Corbett Tiger Reserve or National Park, then Rajaji National Park. Next one is IMT Highway, that is India, Myanmar, Thailand Trilateral Highway that connects India to Thailand through Myanmar. That is the Moreh to Mysore in Thailand, Moreh in India to Mysore in Thailand. You can see the connected cities like Mandalay, Naypyidaw, then Mysore. Then Moreh is the border, that is border connectivity between India and Myanmar. That was recently in news regarding the construction of this highway under National Highway Authority of India. Then Rohingya issue, that is Myanmar Rohingya issue. See the Myanmar Rakhine state. Rakhine state is located to the south of Myanmar, bordering Bangladesh and Bay of Bengal. Switi port, you can see that yellow marking, yellow arrow shows the Switi port, famous port in Myanmar. Then Cox Bazar is the district very contiguous to this Rakhine state. Cox Bazar is having one of the longest beaches in the world. Naypyidaw, that is the capital region of Myanmar. Next one, it's regarding a typhoon that hit actually Philippine regions, that is Phanfone typhoon. Philippines is located in the Pacific Ocean, Western Pacific Ocean. You can see the location here, actually in the South China Sea. Then it's related to Hong Kong. Hong Kong half-year protest anniversary. Hong Kong is located to the south of China, actually in the South China Sea. So Hong Kong and Macau, you can see the red arrow marking. These are the two special administrative region of China. Shanghai Cooperation Organization is frequently in news. Shanghai Cooperation Organization actually founded in Shanghai in 2001. SEO comprised of these states, that is China, Russia, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, and Uzbekistan. That was the actual organization. Before that, in 1996, it was known as Shanghai 5. Except Uzbekistan, the other countries had been the members of this Shanghai 5, and it was renamed after that. This is the latest report related to SEO countries. Apart from the other countries, they included India and Pakistan as members of SEO. On this map, you can see two markings here. One, the circular marking, it's a peninsula region, that is Kamchatka Peninsula of Russia. Then an yellow arrow shows some islands, that is Kuril Islands. Then red arrow shows Japanese islands, that is Japan. Next one is the Kuril Islands. This is an actual picture of Kuril Islands, such a beautiful island located in the northern Pacific, connecting Japan, northernmost island of Japan, that is marked by that violet arrow, Hokkaido Island. From that Hokkaido Island, some small island starts till Kamchatka Peninsula. These island groups are known as Kuril Islands. These islands were in news because of some territorial dispute between Japan and Russia. Actually, these islands belonged to Japan in 1875 time up to this Kamchatka region. It was under Japan. Then in 1855, it was up to here in 1855, but in 1945, they lost this complete island. But they claim this island because this area having rich resources. Next one is Vladivostok. It is one of the famous ports in the far east of Russia. This port was recently in news as Indian Prime Minister visited Vladivostok for 2-day summit, and there is a long transportation connectivity between this Vladivostok and Moscow, that is Trans-Siberian Railway, one of the longest railway lines in the world, more than 9,000 kilometers. You can see that yellow marking, that is Kuril Islands. Next one, Afghanistan. Afghanistan actually was a hotspot for news. Uh, we need to understand some locations in Afghanistan. That orange arrow that indicates Jalalabad, that is very near to Pakistan. Jalalabad, we have an Indian consulate there. Then Kandahar is in the south, that is blue marking there, blue circle. Then Herat, another famous place, that is yellow arrow shows Herat. Then Masari Sharif, that is in the north, that is green arrow. Then Bamiyan is near Kabul, you can see Kabul there. Then uh, Bamiyan was famous for Buddhist monuments and all. Then Ghazni, see here, that is the physical map of Afghanistan, that is you can see Hindu Kush and Central Highlands. So this place, two places, that is Herat and Kabul on either side of these highlands. Kabul is in the east and Herat is in the west. Then some desert regions, that is Kash Desert and Margro Desert in the south. It is marked by that yellow arrow. Then Turkestan Mountains. Then Wakhan region, that is the tri-junction, that is connecting India, Pakistan, and Afghanistan, and China as well. So see these places: Masari Sharif in the north, then Kabul, then Herat. all are like Kabul, Herat, and Masari Sharif are different corners of Afghanistan, but these places are separated by rugged topography, that is highlands and all. Next one, Chabahar Port. Chabahar Port actually in Iran, India constructing this Chabahar port, and there is a connectivity from Chabahar port to Afghanistan. It was recently in news as India sent two consignments to Chabahar port, actually to Afghanistan to through Chabahar port. Chabahar port in Afghanistan. That port connects Chabahar. Port Chabahar is connected to Garland Highway. Garland Highway in Afghanistan, that is, the places here, it is marking here Masari Sharif, Kabul, Kandahar, Herat. There is a Garland like connectivity there. That is a highway connecting from Masari Sharif to Herat. So the transportation connectivity from Chabahar port is linked to this Garland highway. So this Chabahar port is very much useful for Afghanistan economy. Next goes to Middle East. Middle Eastern region always in news, and look at the water bodies here. Mediterranean Sea connecting some Middle Eastern countries like Egypt, Israel, Lebanon, Syria, Turkey and all. Then Black Sea just above Turkey, Caspian Sea connecting Iran, then Persian Gulf and Red Sea. Middle East. The prime location is Persian Gulf. Persian Gulf countries Iran, Iraq, Kuwait, Bahrain, Qatar, UAE, Oman. These are Persian Gulf countries. Then come to this uh, Red Sea. Red Sea, you can see a connectivity from Red Sea to the water body just above that, that is Mediterranean Sea. Red Sea to Mediterranean Sea connectivity is Suez Canal. Then see this island Cyprus. Cyprus is an island located in Mediterranean Sea. Then countries bordering Saudi Arabia. Anti-clockwise, Yemen, Oman, UAE, Qatar, Kuwait, Iraq, Jordan. Syria is not bordering Saudi Arabia. Israel not bordering Saudi Arabia. Then borders of Iraq, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, Jordan, Syria, Turkey, Iran. Borders of Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, Iraq, Iran. Borders of Oman, Yemen, Saudi Arabia, UAE. Like that, you need to identify the borders of these countries. GCC countries. GCC countries are mostly the countries located in Persian Gulf region, that is Oman, UAE, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, Kuwait. These are all known as GCC countries. These countries were in news. Actually the dispute in GCC related to Qatar involvement, Qatar and Saudi Arabia bilateral issue causing so much problems in the GCC countries, that was always in news. These are the major GCC countries. These are all the major petroleum exporting countries as well. Then comes to Iraq. Iraq was in news related to the continuous fight with ISIS, then involvement of United States there, then killing of Iranian General Qasem Soleimani there. So Iraq is in news always. So Kirkuk is a place in Iraq that was in news. Then comes to Iraq. Iraq is consistently in news. That is a consistent fighting between Iraqi forces and ISIS. Apart from that, US-Iran tensions. Kirkuk is one of the most important places in Iraq that was in news because all the recent tension, and the subsequent killing of Iraqi general triggered from this place, Kirkuk. Kirkuk is a famous place and an Iraqi military base as well. And recently in news as United States handed over that military base to Iraqi soldiers. Apart from that, uh, a rocket attack in December killed one of the US contractors here, and this escalated into a big tension and subsequent killing of Qasim Soleimani. So that Kirkuk, that place is noted. It is in Iraq. It's far from Baghdad. And other important places of Iraq are marked here. That is Baghdad, that is their capital. Then uh, Al Qaim, Al Qaim near Syrian border. Al Qaim was recently in news as related to U.S. airstrike targeted, Irani militias in that area. So Al Qaim, then Tikrit. Tikrit also a famous place in Iraq. Then comes to Iran. Iran's first place, Tehran, that is their capital. It is marked here. Then Baghdad. Baghdad is the capital of Iraq. Then you can see two places, Kirkuk and Irbil. These are the places continuous fighting is going on between ISIS and Iraqi forces, Ibril and Kirkuk. Then Bandar Abbas. Bandar Abbas is the most important port of Iran in the Persian Gulf. That is marked here, Bandar Abbas. Then comes to Syria. Syria, the most important places in Syria. Syria also in news because of continuous civil war there. Aleppo, Idlib, Raqqa. These are all the places, very important places, and continuous fighting between ISIS and Iraqi forces and other ISIS and Syrian forces and other, US backed, then Russian backed forces, continuous fighting in these places and historically important places as well. Aleppo, Idlib, Raqqa, then Damascus, Assad based army's capital there in the Damascus. Then you can see an yellow arrow pointing to Golan, Golan Heights. That is actually actually Syrian territory that is under the control of Israel now. Then comes to Lebanon. Lebanon is in news regarding some protests going on there in the Lebanon. Lebanon here, you can see that capital Beirut, that white marked region, that is Lebanon. Then countries bordering Lebanon, Syria, Israel, then western part Mediterranean Sea. Cyprus is an island in the Mediterranean Sea. The red marking shows a connection between Red Sea and Mediterranean Sea, that is Suez Canal near Egypt. And here an yellow marking, yellow arrow pointing to a water body. That water body is Lake Tiberias. Tiberias Lake is there. That is a water body in Israel. Then another water body down to that Tiberias, that is Dead Sea. So you can see Golan Heights here, again Lebanon, Beirut, that is the capital, that is to the coast of Mediterranean Sea. Then Golan Heights you can see over here in the yellow arrow. Other two places, that is Al GHUMR and Al BAQURA. These two places were in news. Actually, these two territories were in Jordan. These territories were leased in 1994 peace treaty, leased to Israel in 1994 peace treaty. And recently, Jordan King, you know, uh, retrieved it back, like they stopped that leasing agreement and retrieved it. Another two places, that is Al GHUMR and Al BAQURA. These two places were in news. Actually, these two places uh, belong to Jordan, and they gave to Israel according to 1994 peace treaty on lease basis. And recently in news because Jordan restored BAQURA and Al GHUMR. That is the reason why these territories were in news. See the locations of these places: Al BAQURA in the north and Al GHUMR in the south. Then Palestine. Israel and Palestine continuously in news. US intervention in declaring Jerusalem as the capital, their embassy relocating to Jerusalem, related news and all. So that was in news. See the transformation of Palestine state or the Israel state. The first one indicates 1947. Uh, that state was formed, Israel state was formed in 1947. The green indication, Palestine region, and white Jewish settlements. And in partition, according to partition plan 1947, Israel got this white areas, that is Israeli land, and Palestine areas, that green land. Jerusalem is administered by UN because that partition plan was put forward by UN, and Jerusalem was under the UN administration then. Then in the period 1949 to 1967, after the war, the Israel expanded their area, and Palestine area started decreasing and Israeli area started increasing. You can see here in this map. Then the current situation is in the fourth map. The green areas are Palestine area and white areas Israeli area. Now Palestine regions are confined to some smaller settlements, like in the some areas in the east and some in the west. See the water body, that yellow marked water body. That water body is known as Dead Sea. Dead Sea, the places near to Dead Sea is known as West Bank. That is actually a Palestine region, West Bank. Then another arrow marking, that is the violet arrow marking, that is the extension of that Red Sea. Then next one, Katowice, that is in Poland. A climate change conference of parties 24 was held in Katowice. That is in Poland. That is a location. This is a Poland. Poland is surrounded by countries like Germany, Czech Republic, Slovakia, Ukraine, Belarus, Lithuania, Russia. North Sea, like Denmark, you can see the marking there, green marking arrow, that is Denmark. Next comes to Denmark, that is Copenhagen. Copenhagen was in news that C40 summit was held at Copenhagen. C40, that is a summit connect more than 94 of the world's greatest cities. Their summit, the C40 summit was held at Copenhagen. Uh, that is the capital of Denmark. Then you can see here Sweden, Norway, Germany and all. Then to the South America, that is Amazon forest. Amazon forest wildfire was in news. See the location of Amazon forest that spread across Brazil, Guinea, Suriname, Venezuela, Colombia, Ecuador, Peru, that northern part of South America, that most of the countries in the north of South America, you can see the countries here, that is Brazil, French Guiana, Suriname, Guyana, Venezuela, Colombia, Ecuador, Peru, Bolivia. Amazon forest spread across these countries. Equatorial rainforest. Then Venezuela. Caracas is the capital of Venezuela. Venezuela was in news related to the issue between Venezuela and the US and some human rights issues happening in Venezuela as well. Margarita Islands, that yellow arrow, then red arrow shows Trinidad and Tobago. Many Indian origin people live in Trinidad and Tobago. Drake Passage. Drake Passage was in news as one of the shortest passage connecting, this Antarctican region, southern part of South America to Antarctica. You can see this passage, Drake Passage, between Pacific Ocean and Atlantic Ocean. That's all about the first part of current affairs linked to map work. You can expect the next parts as well. Have a good time and good luck.